5-0. What more could you possibly want from today? It's been absolutely spectacular. So much has gone on. I know that there's been big news, especially before the game even started and the announcement, but I'm going to touch on that on another video. But just to focus on this game, 5-0, Arsenal 5, Leeds 0. There's nothing more that you could possibly want as an Arsenal fan. We completely demolished them. And to be honest, there were some things in the game that I really liked. And obviously there are very, very big concerns, especially injury concerns. But just to focus on a few of the players, I thought that Arsenal played very well. I thought in the first half it was a little bit, I don't know, a bit lax, but we played a very expansive football. We were attacking, we were free flowing, we looked so much better. We took the handbrakes off, and this is something that I expected a lot more from Arsenal, just to blitz teams, and we did that to Leeds. And honestly, it was very, very good to see Arsenal play in a way where it just felt like a proper starting 11, right? We did all these inverting left backs, and you know, with Havertz being the centre forward and being versatile, it just felt like today that the team was like a proper team. We had a proper striker, we had a proper left back, we had DMs, we had an attacking field. It just felt like a proper formation, proper lineup to me, and that is something that I really liked. Now, with the other things that have happened in this game, I thought that there were a lot of standout players. Timber got man of the match. He got 2 goals and he got an assist, I believe. Great headers in my opinion, got him perfectly in the goal, and he done very, very well to get his man of the match, so credit to him. But there were some other players that really stood out to me. I thought that with Calafiori, the way he was bombing forward, I don't know whether he's playing left back or he's playing attacking midfield. I mean, that guy just kept attacking and attacking and getting into those offensive areas. And to be honest with you, where he positions himself attacking wise, he really needs to work on his finishing, in my opinion, especially on his right foot, because where he gets to certain places in the box, if he manages to work on his finishing and work on his weaker foot, I believe he will be able to score a lot more goals than people will actually give him credit for. But that's something that he needs to work for offensively. Obviously defensively there are, you know, some issues like that we know about, but since Calafiori loves getting into those positions, it's something that he'll need to work on. And I think that if he works on those things, then he can score a bucket load of goals himself. I thought Zubimendi was absolutely immense today. I thought that guy was just taking care of business. Any bit of interceptions or anytime anyone lost the ball, he was there, he got it, he cleaned up shop. I thought he was doing well, especially his passes and the way he was able to control the midfield, especially when Ødegaard came off. He handled that whole DM situation deep in his own box, and he was able to sort a lot of things out with his passing. And it just reminded me a lot of Torreira, the way he was able to win the ball back. And this is something that a lot of people were having a little bit of concern with Zubimendi, especially coming from the Spanish league, but today he did very, very well in my opinion. And a special shout out to Madueke. For me, he's been one of my standout players of the game. I know Timber got man of the match, but I think Madueke, he did not put a foot wrong. I like the way he dribbled, I like the way that he got into the right places at the right time. He was not selfish, he passed the ball when he needed to, he made his crosses when he needed to. He was versatile. He was on the left wing, and then when Saka got injured, he went on the right wing, and he did his job. I thought Madueke was very, very good. And I thought that with the other players that played, I think Ødegaard was unfortunate to get his injury, but with his injury, it just seemed like he jarred his shoulder. So I think maybe in the next match, he'll be absolutely fine. With Bukayo Saka, I'm very concerned. I'm very concerned with the fact that Bukayo Saka will probably be out for months because he was holding onto his hamstring. And I just think that now that we have a bigger squad, now that with other players possibly able to play right wing, I mean, we saw so many players playing right wing. We've seen Madueke go there, we've seen Dowman go there, Nwaneri can play there, like a lot of players can go and play right wing, so Saka can be covered in that regard. But I think with Saka, we have to be honest, last season he was rushed back, and now we're seeing the repercussions of that. And I thought just before he got injured, his goal was very, very good. The right foot where he just absolutely laced it, it was amazing. But however, I did think that he did not have that explosiveness that he had last season. I thought he looked a yard off, he looked slower than what he usually is. For some reason, he didn't have that pace that he had last season, and I just think that because of the injury he has today, maybe he was carrying that for all of that time and he just wasn't 100% fit. And because we've overplayed him so much last season and he's played about 260 games, I think we're seeing the results of that. And a lot of players have had 200 games for Arsenal. Even today, Ødegaard has a 200th game. Unfortunately, he had to come off, even Martinelli and etc. However, I hope Saka comes back as quickly as possible. It's great we have the depth that we have, and with Madueke, with this performance that he had today, I feel a lot more confident going forward. Hopefully he can provide us with a lot more and just keep doing what he does, not put a foot wrong, get into the right areas, make sure you do the crosses in, and I think we'll be absolutely fine in that regard. I think that with Gyökeres, he had a bit of a shaky first half, and yes, he was able to score the goal that he did where the ball got onto the left side where he's very favorable on, got into a 1v1 situation, and then he was able to get past the defender and score goals. We've seen him do that against Sporting many times, and he managed to get the penalty as well, and he absolutely put it away very easily, no problems at all. However, I did feel that maybe Gyökeres could have given that penalty to Dowman, especially since it was his debut. But I think with Gyökeres, it's important that he just scores. If he scores, builds his confidence up, it will allow him to go into a bit of a run and get into a bit of form into the next game and just keep scoring goals. Now here's the thing, right? You can make the argument that with Gyökeres, he scored after Saka and Timber literally took all the pressure off, and then Gyökeres was able to score. It's important that Gyökeres scores in opportunities, especially in the future where the 1-0s, you know, the deciding goals, and that's something that I want to see more from Gyökeres moving forward. Now I know it's the start, I know it's his first home game, but I'm just saying for the future, that's what I would like to expect from him moving forward. And also there were some other players that I thought did really well today. I thought Nwaneri, when he came on, he last season played more on the right wing, but now we've seen him in his favourable centre attacking midfield position, and he was doing the Ødegaard role. He was playing in deep, he was getting into offensive areas, he was helping out Dowman. I thought Nwaneri looked very senior in his role. I thought it really came to his own there, and he was helping him out in any way, shape or form, and I thought that Nwaneri did very well to cover for Martin Ødegaard. And I think that with the opportunities that any of these players get, especially a lot of these youngsters, you have to take them, because there's so many players in the squad now and there's going to be a lot of competition, and that's something that's going to only benefit Arsenal moving forward. Other than that, I thought Saliba and Gabriel, they were doing what they were doing. I thought that Declan Rice was putting in a shift, and I just think that moving forward with Trossard didn't do too much. And with Dowman, when he came on, I didn't even think he'd be able to play until January because of the rules and this and that, but you know what, Dowman came in, got the penalty, and it was absolutely a delight to watch to see him play. I mean, the guy's still doing his GCSEs. Hopefully he can get more game time and get more of a chance to play on the pitch, but you never really know. I mean, I'm not sure if every game we're going to be able to score 5-0, but the more chances these youngsters get, the better. And I think the one thing that I really wanted to really focus on, especially with a player that didn't come on, we used all our 5 substitutions, but we didn't bring on Martinelli. Now Martinelli, you could argue maybe he's being rested up for Liverpool, but it's just a bit strange and a little bit weird where he hasn't really come into this game, but you never really know. Maybe it's a bit of concern on my part, but it is what it is. But yeah, great game, but what was the cost of it? I mean, with Ødegaard, hopefully he'll come back against Liverpool. I don't have a doubt about that, but with Saka, it's a very big blow. That's a lot of injuries that we've had, especially with Havertz and Ben White, Ødegaard this game, and now with Bukayo Saka. We've seen how important it is to have depth and to have quality in depth, especially when we're going into the season playing the amount of games that we're in, and especially to compete on all trophies. It's very good that Arsenal have got all of these players, and now it's just important that the players that are injured, whether it's Ben White and Ødegaard, and especially with Saka, that they get to full health and they come back as soon as possible, but as fit as possible as well, so we don't rush them. And I hope with Saka we don't take that chance of rushing him back, because otherwise it's going to be detrimental to his footballing career's future. And there was already concerns, especially with his hamstring as well, but all we could do is hope and pray. But yeah, 5-0, can't complain about anything else. Very great game, and we're going to be talking about what happened prior to this game and in another video. But yeah, anyhow, please like and subscribe. 5-0 Arsenal, let's go to Liverpool, build some momentum, and let's see how we go. I hope to see you soon.